Hello everyone, welcome back to Sujit Analytics. This is the continuation of SQL Tutorials for beginners. In this video, I'm going to explain where, having, and like clause in SQL. If you have any doubts, make sure to write down in the comments. I will go through every comment and give the response to you. Let's go to today's topic. First one is where clause. Here, where clause is used to filter records based on specific conditions. Filters records based on first specifies the conditions. Filters the records. Suppose in my customers table, for the customers, in my customers table, there are customers belong to different cities. Customer one belongs to New York, customer two Los Angeles, and Chicago, Houston, and Phoenix. But I want the customers who belongs to New York. For this, we have to specify the condition where the New York. So in that cases, we can use where clause. Let's understand the syntax of where clause. First, we have to use set statement and everything from the table name and the where condition. This is the syntax for where condition. We can also give multiple where conditions. So what we are saying is select the star from this table where this condition matches. Let's understand with example. Suppose in my customers table, I want only the customers belongs to New York. For that, the syntax would be select star from customers. If you don't know about select statement, I explained what is select statement detail in my previous videos in DQL commands. Make sure to watch. Select star from customers where city equal to here. Why we are specifying city? Because we are specifying the condition based on city. That's why we are giving city as a condition equal to New York. Now see only one customer is retrieved because in his customers table only one customer is belongs to New York. So this is one use case. Suppose there can be used in multiple conditions using and operator and or operator. You know that and or operators. So and is used when you want to give multiple conditions. If the two conditions matches, it will returns the records. But coming to R is specified when we want to check two or more conditions. If any one condition is true, it will be return the specific rows. So let's understand with simple example for both the keywords and then or. Suppose in my let's use employees table for this employees table. Let's use customers only. In my customers table, I have the customer ID, customer name, city. From this, I want the customers whose name is David Miller and the city is Washington. So we have to specify the two conditions. Two conditions should be matched. For that, we have to use where with and keyword. Where city, where name equal to David Miller and city equal to Armstrong. So here the end is used to specify multiple conditions. These two conditions satisfied, only that records will be written. So what we are saying is, say to start from this table where this name equal to David Miller and the city equal to Armstrong. Wherever the records matches this condition, that records will be retrieved. There is only one employee whose name is David Miller and the city is Armstrong. That's why only one record is returned. So this is an keyword. You can also use or. For this or keyword, I'm using customers table. Then now I want the customers whose name is David Miller or the city is New York. So here also I'm giving two conditions. The customer name should be David Miller or the city should be New York. For that, we have to again use where condition. First condition we are giving in name column. That's why we have to give name equal to David Miller. And the second condition we are using on the city column. For that, we have to use or keyword. So we should not use and keyword because we are giving, we are saying that the name should be either David Miller or city should be New York. So that's why we have to give only or keyword, not New York. What am I saying is select star from this customers table where name equal to David Miller or the city equal to New York. Execute it. See, there are only two customers whose name is David Miller and the city is New York. So for the customer 4, name is matched. For the customer 1, city is matched. That's why only two records getting. So this is a good where clause. And let's go to having clause. So having clause is used to filter records after grouping or aggregation occurs. Here where we used before grouping or aggregation occurs. So when we execute a query, SQL follows a specific order of execution. So from that, we should use having clause because having clause is applied on the grouped records where cannot be used in with the grouped records. So let's understand it with example. So it is easy to understand what is the difference between here where and having clause. So having filter records after grouping or aggregation. Suppose my requirement is I want the customers whose name is customers. So my requirement I want all the customers whose sale amount is greater than 500. So in my orders table I have the sale amount. So in my orders table, the order ID, customer ID, and sale amount. From this, I want the customers whose sale amount is greater than 500. So if you want to find the total order amount made by each customer, you have to use group by with the aggregation function. Sum of sale amount as total amount from orders. When we are using group by aggregate function in the set list, We have to ensure whatever the other columns names is there in the set list, we have to group the columns. The customer ID. So we are for every customer ID, we are calculating the total sale amount. Customer ID and the total sale amount. So it is groups the course based on the customer ID. Now customers duplicate records are grouped. Customer one total amount is 371 and two 630, 3 1450. From this, I want the customers whose sale amount is greater than 500. So what we discussed previous, where clause used to filter the records. So we can let's try using where clause, where sum of sale amount greater than 500. Let's see. So sum of returning a error, a aggregate may not appear in the where clause unless it is in a subquery. So we cannot use aggregate function in the where clause because these aggregate functions are executed after the where clause. We cannot use the these aggregate functions are calculated at the runtime. So we cannot filter them at the runtime using where clause. So for that, having clause is comes to picture. So we have to use having sum of sale amount greater than 500. Now it is works because this having clause is used after grouping. So this aggregate function sum of sale amount is calculated after the group by after grouping the records on the groups. We are performing the sale amount, performing the total sale amount using the sum function. On the sum function, now we are filtering. That's why we execute it will work. So SQL follows a order of execution when executing a query. That is, the order would be from where group by having select distinct. So this is the order follows with the SQL query when we execute it. From first from class is executed where by having selected distinct. So this sum function is executed after the group by function, but we cannot filter using where clause. Filter is where clause is executed before the group by. That's why we cannot use where clause, but we can use having because this having clause is executed after the group by clause. So that is the logic. So this is about having clause. We can also use having with the and other object functions like count, minimum, and maximum, average. Suppose I want to find the average amount. Now also give here average. Average sale amount is greater than 500. Only one customer is there whose average sale amount is greater than 500. So this is about having clause. So the main difference between having clause and where clause is where clause filters records not filter only records which are already present in the table. Where having clause filters records that are not present in the table. So to more precisely, it filters the records after grouping or aggregation occurs the runtime, or at the calculated time. This is the difference between where and having clause. Let's try with some examples. Use where clause for some conditions and use having clause for some queries. So you can able to understand what is the difference between them. So the next clause is like. Here like clause is used to for pattern matching. In Python, we know that we use what do we say, pattern matching. In Python, we write declarations expressions for matching specific rows, data cleaning. So in the same way, in SQL, we use like for the pattern matching to retrieve the data which follows specific pattern. Like suppose let's understand with example in my customers table. My customers table, I have the customer ID, name, and city. Sometimes we don't know the total name. So in that cases, we have to use specific keywords or specific characters to match the data. Suppose in my customers table, I have the name. I want the customers whose name start with A. So here, where class like also used in the where class to specify the condition. So you have to give where the name, the column name we are specifying the condition is name like. Here we have to use the pattern in the single quotes or double quotes. Here we have to give the pattern for the name whose name start with J or A. So before that we have to understand two operators, which is percentile and underscore. Here percentile represents single or multiple or zero characters. So percentile represents single characters. It may be a single character or multiple characters or zero characters. It can represent anything. But for underscore, it represents only single character. Represents only single character. If we specify underscore means the in that value in that place we have to have only single character. Let's understand with example for two operators. Now I want the customers whose name start with A. We want our name start with A, we have to specify the first A, and the next would be percentage. Because after A, anything is okay. It is zero characters or multiple characters or zero characters. We want the customers only whose name start with A. So if we execute it, we are able to get only one customer whose name is Alois Johnson. Because after A, it, after the name of after the letter of A, it has multiple characters. So here the percentage represents the multiple characters. That's why it is matched. And let use for the underscore. Let's start from customers. Here, see Here we can view this underscore. Let's go from the employees table. Wage. In this table, I have the employee ID, name, hire date, and salary. I want the employees whose name like this. The name should be started with KIN and with the character. Here is my pattern. The name should start with KIN and end with a character. It should be only single character. Here underscore represents single character. Let's execute it. So return only king because here the name start with KIN and end with a single character G. It might be any character, in A, B, C, any character, but it should start with KIN and with a single character. So this is about underscore. You can use multiple places for this, like pattern matching. You can try with different examples, so it is easier to understand for you. And that's all. I hope you understand. If you believe you learned something today, don't forget to give a like and share it with your friends who are learning SQL. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Sujit Analytics. That's all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.